Good morning. This is Dig Deep Mama. Dig Deep Mama. And we are on tip 3. Tip 3 is hold it together in front of the kids. Guys, I have been wanting to speak to you. If you are a mom of school-age kids, if you're a mom at all, frankly, because I'm not a mom of school-age kids, and the very words that I'm speaking to you on these Facebook Lives, the 15 minutes we're spending for 5 Tuesday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, these tips are as much encouragement for me as they are for you, though I designed them and have you in mind. They're encouraging me even as I parent my older 2 sons. So this again is for you, because I know for moms right now, your kids are starting back to school. Maybe today's one of the first days, whatever back to school looks like these days for you. Maybe your kids have already been in for a while. Whatever. What I'm hearing from moms today is that you're feeling anxious. You've been feeling maybe discouraged. Maybe you have felt stressed out. And so I want to take you in this very short amount of time. It's 10 minutes only of my doing a little teaching, a little unpacking of one tip. And then we do a 5-minute Q&A. Something I've said, something I've left unsaid. Surely there'll be things left unsaid. It's only 10 minutes. So that's a time for you then to engage with me and interact with me around questions you may have. Hi, Janice. Good morning. Love you right back. You've been such an incredible encouragement. So that's what we're doing in this Dig Deep Mama. We are Spartan women. We are strong women, right? Those are the women, the Spartan women. I mentioned it on week 1. By the way, week 1 was fuel up. That was the tip. Fuel up, mama. Week 2 was, what was week 2 again? Oh, week 2 was your child needs. Your child needs. And I remember telling you in that first week that the Spartan women, right, in ancient Greek times, they were the ones who were chosen to get married and have kids. Why? Because they wanted the strongest women in that culture to be the ones to get married and have the children, to breed kids, bred for battle. So that was the whole idea. So I am sort of now transporting that to today and saying we are Spartan women. And if you have children today, these are unprecedented times. 6 months already you've been parenting during COVID. And so the Dig Deep Mama idea is just to put my hand on the shovel with you to help dig in and take you from that stress and discouragement to strength, to courage, to bravery, to love, and stability. So that's what we're doing in this time. All right. So let's see here. I want to remind you, I think I've already told you, right? You're going to do Q&A at the end. We're going to start with our strengthening statement. Remember, I gave you a strengthening statement. By the way, I've posted it a couple of times because you asked me. On Instagram at 9 p.m. tonight. By the way, today's my 30th wedding anniversary. 30 years today, I married my husband, Cam. And I'm just so thrilled. We're going to go out for dinner tonight, but I will be back in time to do the 9 p.m. Instagram, doing the very same thing I'm doing right now, only in the Instagram realm. All right. So strengthening statement. I put it out yesterday too. You can look on my Facebook feed or my Instagram. Everything is Nancy Hicks Live. And you can get that strengthening statement. But let me go with you. Oh, thanks, Janice. I know, 30 years. Can't believe it. I'm so thrilled. I can believe it, actually. I'm very grateful. Let's do the strengthening statement together, okay? Remember, it's from the wisdom literature in the scriptures. And these are the Christian scriptures I'm talking about. And it's from Proverbs 31:25. And it says this: she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Now say it with me, okay? This is your strengthening statement. You can use it all day long. Here we go, one last time. She, you, I. Let's make it I. I am clothed with strength and dignity. I can laugh at the days to come. That's your strengthening statement. One thing, memorize it, commit it to your heart, use it. All right, there it is. Now, I already told you what the first 2 tips were. And today's tip is hold it together in front of the kids. Now already I know some of you are going, oh, give me a break. No, I'm going to say it again. Hold it together in front of the kids. Now, let me tell you a story. When Cam and I were young parents, parenting, so we have a 25-year-old son and a 27-year-old son, David and Aaron, or Aaron and David, I guess. I did the younger one first. So when we were parenting those guys, we had different ideas, no shocker there. We had different ideas about what, what our kids should see and be exposed to. And that played out in different ways, from TV shows to, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. But one of the things that it played out in, the example I'm sharing right now, is conflict. Issues. So my whole thing was, hi guys, good morning. I came from a family of 4 women. I didn't have a dad. My dad left when I was a little girl, 5. And I'm the littlest of 3 girls. And my mom raised her 3 girls. And so this was a family of 4 women, demonstrative women. We grew up in Little Italy in Toronto. I mean, it was like, it was kind of out there. We were out there and we said stuff and we did stuff and we were out there. All right. So my whole idea coming from that background was not to do that, not to expose my kids to everything that I necessarily had been exposed to. It was a little rough sometimes, but to show our children that yes, in a marriage, there's conflict, and show them how resolution works. That I didn't want them thinking, aren't we all just so lovely all the time? Aren't we just so sweet? I was like, that's just baloney. It's just not true. And I wanted them to see reality, yeah? And Cam, on the other hand, my darling husband, came from a background where they showed zero conflict. And I'm not kidding. Like, they didn't fight. They didn't, if someone was upsetting, like usually his younger sister, Karen, he has 1 sibling, and she may be watching this video. But if she was, saying things that were uncomfortable for the family, he would kind of kick her under the table like, don't do this. So conflict was something that was absolutely foreign to him. He never saw his parents fight, like ever. And they were married 47 years. Okay. So can you imagine on the conflict continuum, on the clash continuum, we had to come together. We had to figure out for David and Aaron, what amount of revelation, of display, of frustration and issues and conflict are we going to, in wisdom, show them? And so, here's here's me on the continuum, and here's Cam, we had to figure out how we could come together to, yes, and he did. He came my way, I went his way. You don't want to show your kids everything, right? You don't want to damage them. And at the same time, you don't want to damage them by not showing them things too. So we had to kind of come together in wisdom and figure this out. All right. Here's my going back to the tip. The tip today is, and this is what I have gleaned from those years of us coming together on the clash continuum, on the conflict continuum, and us figuring out how we were going to, in a healthy way, model conflict and resolution for David and Aaron. Hold it together in front of the kids is your tip for today. Because I'm telling you, sometimes you're not going to want to. And maybe you've already blown it today. And so here's the deal. You are the parent. Okay, I'm going to say that again. You, mom, are the parent. And in some situations, like my mom, you're a single mom and you're the only parent in the house. And in some situations, you have to work it out with a spouse, just like I did. Either way, it's tough, right? Because you don't just get to have your own way. You got to figure out what is a healthy display of conflict and frustration to show my kid. But you're the parent. You don't get to indulge in just showing them everything. This is what it is. You don't get to do that because you will put undue stress and anxiety and pressure and fear and lack of stability on the child if you feel like I can just indulge, I can just show them, it's good for them. It's not. It's too much for them to carry. It's too much. And so you're the parent. You get to go, oh my gosh, I don't get to do that. I'm not the child anymore. I'm the parent. Okay? And at the same time, be able to show them, yes, I'm frustrated. Yes, I'm struggling. Yes, Dad and I are having some stuff going on here. We'll take it up to the bedroom later or we'll go out, whatever. But to show them some of that in a healthy way. But you've got to hold it together to the larger extent in front of those kids. So here's how you're going to do that. Because sometimes, right, when you're parenting, you just want to scream. And you add COVID into the mix and all that you've had to endure, you mom, I'm telling you, you guys have been amazing. And you need to pat yourselves on the back and be kind to yourselves. But here are 3 ideas to help you hold it together in front of the kids. Number 1, okay, and then we're going to go to Q&A. So be forming your questions, okay? Number 1, say this, God help me. Now you can say it under your breath. You don't even have to say it out loud. But when you're feeling like I just need to do something really, I am losing it here. You feel that way. Number 1, God help me. You may not even believe in God. You may not, or you're like, what God are we talking about here, Nancy? And some of you are like, oh, I know exactly who I'm praying to. That's prayer. God help me. Inside or quietly under, God help me. And even if you don't believe in God, you utter those words, you'll be surprised. God help me. Number 1. Number 2, breathe. Last week at the end of our time, I took a nice cleansing air breath with us and we just breathe. You know about the breathing, but do you do it? That's the problem. A lot of times you go, oh yeah, I know. But then putting it into practice is always the challenge, right? So breathe. God help me is the first thing. Second thing, breathe. Sometimes this is happening in a split second. Breathe, right? Someone's just opened the fridge, the milk just fell out. The dog has gotten out. I mean, the kid's screaming. There's stuff smeared all over. Breathe. Because you are the mother. You're in charge. So first, God help me. Second, breathe. Breathe. Just breathe. They can wait a second because if they don't wait while mama breathes, it could be really ugly. So you just need to breathe, mama. Just breathe, okay? Third, sometimes mama just needs to let it rip. So this is where you've got to get out of there. You got to go somewhere. And this just happened to me the other day at the hospital, and I shared this. I put a song out there and said I was holding it together all day with David, very loving, in the hospital. My son, older son, you know about this, but has colon cancer, stage 4 colon cancer, and he just had his 3rd tumor removed from his liver. And this was just a week ago today, in fact, right? And when I was in the hospital one of the days, which I was grateful to be there, but all day long and night, I'm hearing things and, watching my son in pain and feeling like I just wanted to lose it. I had to at one point get out of the room and walk down the hall to the bathroom and just cry. You do too. When I left the hospital, I shared this with you guys. At the end of the night, I'd held it together all day for him. And it wasn't like I don't show my emotion. Of course he sees me cry. Of course you show emotion. But what I'm saying is sometimes you feel like you just got to lose it and let it all go, right? Let it all rip. This is where you have to hold it together in front of the kids. I'm not saying you're stiff, stoic. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you do not get to, because you're the mom, you're the parent, you don't get to just let it all hang out. You don't get to just say anything you feel and think. You'll put too much fear and anxiety on that child. It's not right. So you're going to go somewhere like I did that night when I finally left the hospital. I got into my car and I sobbed. You may need to go to your car. You may need to drive that car somewhere where you can just bang and cry and scream, whatever. You may need to go for a run just for 5 minutes. Do something to get it out. Go somewhere and release it. And while we're at it, so I've given you 3 things on this. Hold it together in front of the kids. First one, God help me. Second one, whether you believe in God or not, right? God help me. Second thing is breathe. Breathe. Third is you really need to let it rip. Get out of there. Go somewhere. Get out of the house. Go into the backyard. Go behind a tree and sob. Get a pillow. Put your face in it. Bang. It is okay. And let me say this, especially if you're a Christian. Sometimes we feel like we can't do that. That's bull. That is not true. Sometimes you just need to let it rip. It's the right and good and holy thing to do. Get it out, not on the kids. Don't damage your house. Don't damage your property. Take a pillow and just let it out in that pillow or in the car or something. I feel good just telling you that this morning. I think I'm doing this for me. All right. So those are the things. Anything I've said or left unsaid, let's talk. I've gone over time, sorry. Anything I have said or left unsaid before I wrap it up. I want to say also, let your kid do that too. Those three things, teach them. Sometimes your kid just needs to let it rip. They're frustrated too. Put them in a healthy place to do that, right? Give them a pillow. Put them in a place where they're not going to damage someone, a sibling, a friend, or you. Damage someone or damage themselves or something in the house. Give them a pillow. Give them a punching bag. Let them get it out if they need to get it out. All right. Anything I've said or left unsaid? Any questions, you guys? And sometimes you have questions, and sometimes you don't. So are you there? Anything? While you're formulating your questions, let me tell you. 25th of September, I'm kicking off a 6-week study, online study of my book, Meant to Live, 6 sessions. And I'll go ahead and put the link here for you guys. But if you want to stick around and if you have friends, just again to be encouraged, I will be doing, there are videos that you can, you purchase it for $19.99. You get really beautifully made videos of my teaching. Then you also get a PDF with questions and more teaching. This is all yours to keep and to do at your leisure. People have been doing it all summer long with different groups and individuals, and a couple of sisters got together and did their own thing, and little groups of friends and stuff. We're doing it, but here's what's unique. This is coming September. Well, we're in September today. September 25th I start. What's unique about this is that I will be doing also, while you're doing the videos and the questions, I'm coming together with you on Friday for 1 hour at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be doing a 1-hour session and answering and, going through the questions with you. So I will be leading you and coaching you and teaching through that time. So look forward to that. Go ahead and get that. Pass it on to a friend, whatever. Hopefully these tips have been helping you. It looks like there are no questions this morning. And if that's the case, then that's completely fine. Then don't forget your strengthening statement. And I'm going to breathe with you before we head off into the day, this new day. Take a deep breath. Dig deep, Mama. You got this.